Welcome to another episode of Can You Reach That?
Can you reach that? What's up, man?
Chilling?
I'm getting right into it. Like,
Let's go.
so having a debate with the boys.
Uh-huh.
Scrambled eggs. Fried chicken?
No,
How it's fried chicken.
it's not.
You're frying a chicken.
How do you fry your chicken? In a pan? With no oil?
It depends on it depends on the stage of the chicken, right? It's still because there's young same thing when you buy turkeys, right? There's a young chicken, there's an older chicken, there's it's like it's just
Yeah, but
It's the egg.
how do you fry your chicken?
in a pan.
With oil or without oil? Do you cook your eggs with oil?
I actually use olive oil when I fry
When you
scramble my eggs. Yes, I do.
Mm.
I'm past the days of the spray on Pam.
The Pam? Bruh.
Can you reach that? You see that? Let's talk about it. Read that. Believe that. Let the people know that you see that and what they want to know. Can you reach that? Can you reach that?
And now your host, Tango and Coop.
Can you reach that? Can you reach that? Can you reach?
So that was a heavy conversation that we were having. We were debating that. It's just one of those things where it's just like, if you really think about it,
I mean,
you're
guess.
frying up a chicken.
I guess you could put enough.
Maybe it's not a fully formed chicken.
I mean, I guess you could make that argument. I disagree.
I mean, when you make traditional fried chicken, generally to get the depending on what you're using for your crisp, if you're using panko or anything like that, to get it to stick, what are you using? You're rubbing some
egg on it.
You're rubbing some chicken on some chicken.
That's yeah.
So it's kind of, when you put it in those words, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, that's gonna.
I guess that makes sense.
Let me smother my chicken with some smothered chicken fetus.
Some chicken flavored chicken.
So, but yeah, I mean, we just got into this whole thing about chickens, man, and it's the same thing. We're talking about wings, right? When I go to Wingstop and I order a 20-piece wing, yes, I eat 20 wings because
I can tell.
I'm big. I'm only eating the equivalent of 10 wings because they split them in half.
Oh yeah, because you get the flats
each
in the
flat,
drum. Yeah,
each drum
counts as a wing.
That's
half a
counting
wing.
it as a wing, but that's
Yeah.
half a wing, man.
Yeah.
I'm like,
technically, it's a third of a wing.
right. So, but my thing is like false advertising, dude.
Yeah, and we just roll with it.
If you go to El Pollo Loco or like a KFC and you say, "Let me get a 2-piece wing meal," you get 2 wings, your sides, and whatever.
And
those are wings.
That comes with the drum, the flat, and the little
whole
tip piece.
just the tip.
Just the tip.
And but when you go to a Wingstop or a place that sells what we call wings, you're not getting the whole wing. You're getting a chopped up version of it. So my thing is how are you going to say it's a 20-piece chicken wing meal when it's not? You're getting 20 pieces, but you're not getting 20 wings.
Chicken wings. Yeah, that's why they call it. That's the loophole.
But we've accepted this as a society, and I feel like we need to rise up and give me my whole wing.
That's why it's 20 pieces and not 20 wings.
Right. That's crazy, man.
You got the pieces in there.
Yeah, 20 wings, man. I want 20 wings. See, I feel like
well, then would you get 10 wings?
At that point, I'd get 10 wings, right? Like, I wouldn't feel like a fatty
because he only got the 10 wings instead of the 20.
I mean, yeah, whenever we go, it's like it. So are you a Wingstop guy?
Not. Yes, I do. I do fuck with Wingstop, but it's not my first preference.
Right. They're not the best. They're just the most fast foodish wing place, I think.
Well, I mean, I get them if other people are getting them.
Right.
If somebody's like, hey, let's do Wingstop, I'm like, all right, bet.
Sure.
But it's not something that I'm picking. But I do fuck with them.
What's your flavors?
Shit.
I mean, everybody does like lemon pepper whatnot. I'm okay with that, but
I usually try to go for something hot.
Yeah.
Since you can do the split, like most of the time it'll be something hot, like either the hot flavor or like a habanero or some shit like that.
See, I love the habanero mango they have. I think it's just good.
And then I like a dry rub, so I'll do like a Cajun or something.
See, I like their Louisiana dry, the Louisiana rub they got.
I don't know if I've had.
I like
Louisiana.
that one. Those are my 2 go-tos there. I'm not a big fan of traditional buffalo flavor.
Right. Yeah, I love me some buffalo.
I don't
flavor.
like Tabasco sauce, and I feel like it's pretty much Tabasco sauce.
Yeah, I think my affinity for buffalo comes from all my time that I spent in Hooters back in the day.
Hooters. I used to get it wasn't just me. It was a few friends and whatnot, but we used to get the bacon wrapped. They used to have. There was times where they had bacon wrapped wings.
At Hooters? I don't ever remember that.
Yeah, those were tasty.
Bacon wrapped wings, huh?
Yeah, they didn't do bacon wrapped grapes as we discussed previously.
Now we got to start that when we open up our own restaurant.
But yeah, right. We're gonna open up a restaurant called Bacon Wrapped.
That'll be we just wrap everything in bacon.
Everything.
It's like one of them deep fry joints, where they deep fry everything.
Right.
Yeah, we just wrap everything in bacon.
What's old boy? This viral.
We wrap Twinkies in bacon.
Oh boy, this viral that you bring him the Cheetos and all that stuff, and he makes you this sandwich.
Oh, I don't even know. I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that?
Nah.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, I can't remember his name, but yeah, they go in there and they give me. He's like, put it on the grill, and then he does the whole thing, and he's like,
it makes a meal out of it.
Cuts it in half, and he shows it. And it's
that's crazy. I haven't seen that.
So I'm like, we open up a bacon wrap, call it bacon wrap.
We just call it bacon wrap. Yeah,
and then people just choose what they want. We wrap it in bacon,
or we just call it it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap. There you go.
I like that.
Damn. Hopefully nobody's listening.
That's all right. We got dibs on it. Dibs. I call dibs.
We've made it public domain now, so
it's official. It's out. It's out in the universe.
Right.
Once we get our game up and start opening up our restaurants, we'll try to get it somewhere around Kevin Hart's restaurant or Trejo. Who else has a restaurant? So many people have restaurants.
Kevin Hart's restaurants. I just saw that actually a day or so ago that unfortunate demise, man. They're closing up shop, so there's gonna be none left. I think he has 4, if I'm not mistaken.
I haven't even. All right.
The vegan spots. They were actually good. I checked them out, the chicken sandwiches and whatnot. Well, they're not real chicken, obviously they're vegan, but it was good. Like when they first launched, it was pretty tasty. They had some good food and stuff, and fries were good.
Vegan fries.
But I did go not too long ago. I want to say I was at the one in Westchester, and it wasn't. When they launched, I think it was about a year or so ago. It wasn't the same, man. It was.
Damn, has it only been? Well, yeah, it's got to be.
I don't know if it's that the people there just didn't have the passion, or, the workers and whatnot. But like the food, it wasn't it no more. It wasn't good, and yeah. So apparently they're closing up shop. They're not doing well. So that's unfortunate too. I was excited for
Yeah,
I
nice.
like seeing people open up some spots, especially that was
a healthy spot.
They call it healthy. It was there's still sodium issues and stuff, a lot of stuff like that.
Healthier,
but it's better, I suppose, than hitting a McDonald's, right?
Healthy-ish.
There you go.
Can
I
we
like
go
that.
with the ish?
I like
Healthy-ish.
But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, Kevin Hart's Hart House
didn't make it,
will cease to exist. Maybe he'll come up with another venture. I think he needs a different team, to kind of help drive that. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of what he was, how involved he was, or who he had involved running it and all that. I just feel like at some point there was just a lack of, especially the most recent time that I went. I feel like there was a lack of caring anymore.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if that was like a licensing deal where he just licensed his likeness to the brand.
Could be,
instead of him actually
use
being,
his name on the.
Yeah. Because it's not. I mean, prior to that, we haven't really heard about Kevin Hart doing anything food related. Like he did. I remember when he had his Nike thing that he was doing. He was into his fitness, so he was always running, and doing all of that stuff. But like food wise,
have you ever eaten at Shaq's Big Chicken?
No, I didn't even know. I'm missing everything. I'm living under a rock.
So he opened one in Vegas a couple years ago, I think it was. I want to say it was before COVID. Almost certain it was before COVID. But yeah, and I checked it out. It was good. Like the chicken sandwiches he has, it was very tasty, very good. Then he opened one. I want to say it's in Glendale, on this side.
Okay.
And then I think there's, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's 2 in Vegas. I think there's one in Glendale, and I think he has some. I think there's one in Atlanta.
What's it called? Shaq's Big Chicken?
It's just called Big Chicken.
Big Chicken?
I think initially was Big Chicken Shack.
Oh,
but I think
like
it's just Big Chicken now.
I like that play on words.
But it was good. I dug it. I haven't been there in a minute because there's nothing local to here.
Right.
So it's not a place that I can go out of my way.
I'm gonna have to try to make that next time I go to Vegas.
But yeah, went to the one in Vegas when it launched. A little after it launched, and it was tasty, man. I enjoyed it. I can't speak on it now because I haven't been in a minute.
Right. You said Glendale. There's one in Glendale. How far is Glendale from here?
A couple hours.
Okay.
So, hey, if you want to roll out, I'll roll out.
Make a trip out of it.
I don't know. Well,
Have you seen Shaq's wide body
the Cybertruck. I did see that. I saw the delivery. I saw that.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy.
I saw that. Yeah,
Shaq has always been
big with the whips.
Yeah, but he's always been one to be the first to do something. Yeah. I remember he was especially with West Coast Customs.
Oh yeah. He was big with them.
When he put the rims on the bins.
Well,
dropped it.
The trip is that he'll get like a Lambo and like he don't fit, and then what he does is he buys a Lambo and then they go find a salvaged same version Lambo. They cut it up so that they can extend his Lambo so that his legs can go in the deeper.
Fit. Yeah.
So he has a one of one, Lambo. Or he has multiple one of one Lambos and Ferrari, cars like that he's not normally going to fit in, that he makes it work.
Yeah.
But he's always been big into that custom work. I know he got big into Mopar for a minute. He was doing the Hellcats and whatnot.
I remember that.
In ATL.
Still love my Mopar.
So, yeah. Shaq's always been big on that scene. I got to check out his latest episode of the podcast, man. I'm lagging. I heard he had Marlon on there. Marlon's been running around.
Shout out to Marlon Wayans.
Yeah. I mean, he spewing the stories on, obviously being our era growing up watching Living Color.
Right.
I mean, we know how many legends came out of that show, and we know how many things were in that show, and he started spewing stories about how his family was treated.
Yeah.
Not just there, but even on when he was doing like the Scary Movie series and all that stuff. I thought I thought a lot of the stuff that he talked about was eye opening, to say the least. So I was I'm not gonna say I was surprised, but
it was refreshing to hear somebody on the inside talk about it.
Yeah, because you hear rumors and you hear that the fourth and fifth parties,
right?
But he's a first party.
He's involved in it.
Yeah, he was that. So
yeah. No, it's impressive to see.
I'm a fan. I've been a fan. So.
Yeah, I've always loved me some more. It's funny that you say that. I was literally just watching White Chicks earlier today.
Nice.
Literally just watching White Chicks earlier today. But I mean the movie. Yeah. The movie with Sean and Marlon Wayans. There's no other.
We're clearing that up.
Yeah. This ain't the rated R version of White Chicks. Or the rated X version of White Chicks, I guess I should say. But nah, the whole Wayans family is just talent.
It is.
Whatever sauce the dad had worked his magic, and because every single one of them kids was able to do something in the business.
The writing and the concepts and from the writing and it's the humor and stuff. It's smart humor. It's good. They know how to take pop culture references and a story.
Yeah.
And create magic.
Yeah. What they did with the Scary Movie series before it went mainstream, I guess, for lack of a better way to call it.
He called it out, the Weinsteins.
Yeah. The first I want to say the first two was them. And then
hilarious.
Like 3 on.
Lieutenant Doofy.
Yeah. Lieutenant Doofy reporting for Dooney.
Smell my finger.
That's my ass.
yeah. I mean, and the fact that that's the first quote
from that,
speaks on it on high levels. But no, I was a huge fan of those two movies, and then just when they stepped away from that, obviously the hood parodies, and
yeah.
Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
I love all the spoofs that they did.
When the title, before that movie even came out, when I saw the title, I was like, dope.
Yeah, we knew where this was going. Yeah, they did their thing with that one. I enjoy everything they did, like even the more serious movies that Keenan did, Low Down Dirty Shame.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
mean, Blank Man.
Marlon Wayans.
That's why part of me wanted a Handyman movie.
That would have been dope.
Could you imagine him doing a Handyman movie? And they could have created a universe. You could have a Blank Man and why not play 2 roles? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Could have did that.
Just to pull out some Eddie Murphy and just play all the roles.
That would have been a great spinoff of
the Marvel and everything.
The character from In Living Color, the Handyman.
But I'm just saying, as far as the universe,
spinoff. Yeah,
like kick it back. Let's do Blank Man 2, and then let's come out with the new Handyman movie, and then let's do a collab.
And then you do the crossovers. You bring back Meteor Man.
Oh,
you get Robert Townsend in the mix.
Yeah.
You bring the whole crew, all of them back. The ones that did Hollywood Shuffle.
all that.
Put them all back in the mix.
That'd be dope.
I'd love to see something new from Robert Townsend right now.
The stuff that I, just that comes out from all this stuff, like there was something that I read that I did not know.
Right.
On In Living Color, everybody knows who's a fan. Everybody knows the Jim Carrey Vanilla Ice segment. Hilarious, right? Classic.
Super hilarious.
One of the most iconic skits. I mean, it's hard to say one of the most because, like, I feel like there's so many.
There was a lot of one of his most iconic skits.
Right. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, because the amount of skits that came from that show that were reoccurring skits was insane because the characters were so prominent and well written.
Right.
But in that skit, when he did the Vanilla Ice, the background dancers, do you know who they were?
Nah.
So is a dance crew that were called 424.
Right.
And were they 424 or 242? I can't remember. It's one of those, but
right.
I think it was 424, but it was a dance crew. That dance crew, you would know better as the Far Side.
So, bro, how many people got their start off of In Living Color? So
when I saw that, I was like, you're kidding me.
Yeah, I never knew that.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, there's so many, and I don't know if that's where they got their start per se, but nonetheless, the fact that they were involved in any fashion in that show, knowing how many people have come off that show,
right?
That's a trip to me, dude, because I'm a Far Side fan. I mean,
But I mean, if that was the name of their crew before, they weren't the Far Side before that.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, I feel like they definitely got maybe some exposure from it or something, and but that's just a crazy dope like little just tidbit about The Living Color. I mean, we know about J-Lo being on the Fly Girls,
right?
We know about a lot of that stuff.
Rosie Perez being the choreographer,
right? And obviously the cast, right?
Yeah.
But I did not know that the Far Side were the dudes dancing behind Vanilla Ice in that
in a parody video, like not even it was a parody video.
That's super dope.
Like would the Chappelle show be what it was without In Living Color? I don't know.
That's really hard to say.
I don't know.
But there's definitely an argument there, right?
Because I feel like they were, like, not to say, because I mean, I feel like there's iterations of it. If you look at it generationally, we had In Living Color, we had Chappelle's show, and then we had Key and Peele. Right.
I mean, think about this too. Chris Rock, one of the most classic members of SNL, was on In Living Color, which was at that time sort of even though SNL may not have saw it that way as a competition,
right?
I don't think they necessarily saw it as competition.
They didn't. They were too small for them to even be on their radar,
right? But the fact that Chris Rock went over there, you're right. That went over there and did his cameos and his little things. It was kind of like whoa, But then, like you said, the star power that came out of that show. Even though that show wasn't on for nearly, obviously, as long, SNL's in their 40, almost 50th year. I think they're coming up. I think they're a year or two off from their 50th season.
Yeah.
But just, and again, not taken away from the stars that have come out of SNL, right? There's been plenty, right?
Numbers.
But over the course of 50 years, and you look at all the cast members that are on there that didn't, right?
Right.
Maybe they're known in the sense that they were on Saturday Night Live, but are they starring in movies and doing all this stuff? Not every cast member is doing that. But the amount of people in Living Color, like, I think damn near every single one of them at one point or another starred in their own movie.
Yeah, or at least was a supporting lead.
Right. I mean, you had Woo that had Tommy Davidson and Jamie Foxx.
Right.
David Alan Grier did tons of movies. I don't know if he was ever necessarily a full lead, but he was definitely like lead characters.
Right.
Like you said, maybe supporting lead, things like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jim Carrey, Keenan, all the Wayans, right? I mean,
every single one of them, so had movies up the wazoo.
It's
Sean and Marlon had movies.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that Sean was, he's SW, he was a DJ.
The DJ, right.
So people didn't even realize what he was capable of until.
And then the show that they had, the Wayans Brothers.
Yeah, classic,
bruh,
classic.
Like everything that they touch is gold. And even Kim, I don't think Kim Wayans gets enough props. Because she's,
I agree,
a highly talented, highly funny, individual. Like she don't get her due. I'm giving my flowers to Kim Wayans right now, while I still can. Flowers to the whole Wayans family. Flowers to the Wayans daddy, the Wayans mamas for making all of this talent.
What we're trying to say is, can we get casted? Because apparently, if we get casted, we gonna go on fire,
right? We gonna blow up.
So but yeah, in all seriousness, it's when I read that tidbit, I did a lot of Googling too to make sure, and by all means, maybe I'm still wrong, but for all intent and purposes, from what I read, that was the Far Side.
Yeah,
and that's crazy to me. But it's
crazy.
It's not something that I could go, that's bullshit.
Right.
Like, whenever anything comes out about Living Color, I have to take it in all seriousness because it seems like every time I hear something, it's usually true.
Yeah, you can't brush that off.
So
they definitely had a big impact, and it's a shame. It's a shame how Hollywood did them, but that's the system.
That is, the stories that Marlon's been kind of, I don't want to say exposing, but just truthing.
Yeah, just telling. He's just telling his story.
He's just telling the story.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about biopics, right?
Yeah.
I don't even need a biopic. Give me a documentary on the Wayans.
Yeah, we need a full Wayans like they did the Jacksons.
Yeah, I want a documentary on the Wayans. Like, I want to, I legit want to hear stories from Marlon's been saying his piece right now, which is cool, but I want to hear more from Damon. I want to hear more from Keenan. I want to hear, let's get all of them out. Let's get a documentary going.
Another movie that just popped up with Marlon and Damon, Mo Money. You remember that one?
Mo Money.
Man, I love that. That was a repeater. We had that on VHS. That was like a 2-3 time a day.
It was a good
one. Put
it
in, rewind it, watch it again.
That was a good one. Did you ever watch Lil Man?
Vaguely. I've seen it a couple times. I've seen it a handful of times, but it wasn't.
I feel like that wasn't necessarily at the top of their list, but I still found it funny.
It was definitely
I still found it funny.
Movie.
The concept of like putting his head on like this
on a baby's body. Yeah.
I mean, and knowing what they had to go through, because you're filming that essentially sitting in a chair, just acting it out. They're filming your head, and then they're later on. Hell of a process.
Yeah.
But I feel like it doesn't necessarily get the love maybe that it deserves. Maybe some people should revisit that.
It's not. There's so many. I mean, when you really think about their catalog as a whole, there's so many movies that just fall by the wayside. There was one that Marlon did with David Spade. The Sixth Man? Senseless.
It was Senseless, right?
Senseless. Yeah. That was the one. But there was another one called
Sixth Man was the one with I'm having a brain fart, but he was a dude from Different World.
Kadeem Hardison.
Yeah, so that was that one where he died and they were teammates.
Yeah.
That was that one.
Yeah,
so he saw him as a ghost through the movie. That was a good one.
So many.
Yeah, that
movies.
was a good. But Senseless was crazy. Senseless, that was hilarious to me too. That was
Yeah, these boys have been around.
Needed some cash, so he decided to go do some experimental stuff. But yeah, you're right. That was with David Spade.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, they've been out there for a minute.
I haven't seen that movie in a minute, man. You're making me want to go out.
I want to watch all these movies now. And then for Vlad to try to do Marlon dirty like that, like he was talking all of that smack, like, oh, he ain't even gonna get the views. You're not worth that type of money to be paying for. I'm like, bruh. And then he goes on
one episode or one show of Club Shay Shay,
and then millions of views.
Yeah.
Eat that humble pie, Vlad.
Shout out to Club Shay Shay, man. I'm definitely a watcher. It's been good from the jump, but it's just progressively gotten better. I aspire for that art for our show.
Yeah.
I know at some point, we might venture into I know we mostly just come on here and shoot the shit, but at some point we'll do some guests and stuff. But
one day that'll be nice. We'll get there.
But yeah, I mean, shout out to Shannon, man. That show is just good, man. He asks
great questions.
He asks questions that you expect, but then he also digs a little deeper with stuff maybe you wouldn't think somebody would normally say or ask of certain guests.
Right.
But he also creates an environment where people are willing to answer and feel comfortable speaking.
Yeah.
Shout out to that show, man. Shout out to Shannon. I mean, I think he's got a great thing going, man. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, I like what he's doing.
I'm a huge fan. I still haven't gotten a chance to get a bottle. I tried to order a bottle and they were sold out. So, and I've been meaning to check back, but
damn, like that.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I think it's like $90, something like that. So,
yeah, if I still drank, I might be on it, but.
Well, I shoot him an email and see if he got the non-alcoholic version.
The non-alcoholic version, just for me.
Apple juice in a shea bottle.
Cookies and some apple juice.
There it is.
Yeah.
But no, it's a great show. Yeah, and shout out, again to Marlon for, just being
Marlon.
Being Marlon. He's not he's not holding back. He's not, but at the same time, it's not like he's going out there and he's like, oh, I'm gonna throw it as dirt out there and da 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 da. He's just like, no, let me just tell you what went down.
What happened. Yeah,
this is what went down.
This is my side of the story.
This is who stole what. Here's who stole our ideas and ran with them, and here's who didn't want to pay us because they thought we wasn't worth it, and then we turn around and go over here, and then they paid us, and now they realize what they, So yeah, I love those stories. I love those stories.
It's dope. Like I love knowing that. I mean, basically, what would the Super Bowl halftime show be without In Living Color? Because
I think that was definitely an eye opener for that event.
Yeah, because they didn't even. And I mean, I love seeing the underdog come out on top.
Right.
So for them to think that, this small little sitcom run by this family of the Wayans or whatever has no pull, and for them to take the whole audience from the Super Bowl, change the channel, to watch what was going on over there.
Yeah.
And then NFL was like, oh, wait a minute.
Hold on. Yeah.
And then they get Michael Jackson the next year?
Right. The very next year. They're like, we got to go big. So that's what and then from that point forward, that's been where like the halftime store has been like, this has to be, we have to go big.
We got to go big.
So, this year, I mean, obviously, I know you've heard the news now. It's Kendrick.
Big Kendrick, big K-Dot.
So I'm excited for it.
I am. I'm looking. I mean, I think it's dope that he's getting all of this pull and publicity to be able to do the halftime show.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that they picked him over somebody more local. And I know they don't always do local artists for the halftime shows and things like that. But just especially after having Dre when they played in Cali.
And K-Dot was part of that too.
So K-Dot was a part of that.
Repeat performance.
So I feel like and not to say that, like even if they did do it down there, K-Dot still could have been a part of it.
For sure.
But, like it would have been nice to see.
I mean, who knows? There's a lot of speculation that like, oh, is he going to bring Wayne out? Because everybody's talking about like it should have been Wayne.
I mean, not even just, because that's, it's the hometown. So not even just Wayne, but like I would like to see all the Cash Money, or not even all. Well, yeah, all the Cash Money, No Limit.
What about Master P? Yeah, I was gonna say Master P.
No Limit. Yeah, so everybody from that area. Like, it would be nice if they got put on.
So here's the question. So we know. So first and foremost, lots of hate, right? You see a lot of hate. People saying it should have been Wayne, like you said. Like a lot of people were like, and it's a valid argument to a certain degree. And then a lot of people pointing the finger at Jay-Z, like, oh, why Jay-Z do him dirty like that? And da 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 da. Jay-Z's on a committee that comes up with, ideals, right?
Right.
But then there's a committee in the city that the Super Bowl is held that ultimately makes their choice and reaches out to see if, said artist will
perform or whatever. Yeah.
So the city itself, the city committee in New Orleans reached out because that was who they chose. They chose, and I don't think it was them thinking like, oh, let's not choose somebody local.
Yeah.
Or let's choose. I don't think it was that. I think they were trying to choose what was hot now.
Right.
To garner the revenue, right?
Right.
And what's hotter than Kendrick right now? I mean, this dude did a concert where he performed the song 5 times in a row and people were still rocking out. And to this day, like I go many places and people just continuously play it. It's 5 times platinum now. It's going to be nominated for a Grammy. Yes, it's a diss song, but it's still a song, and it's getting the attention
mad attention.
So that being said, if he were to bring Wayne out, that's in itself a sort of adding to the fire, right? Because Cash Money, aka Young Money, aka him and Drake, they have their whole.
He should bring Drake out.
So I feel like if he brought Wayne out, it would be a little bit of a slight. And I don't know if Wayne would even accept at that point because of that.
Because of their relationship.
Not that he has any, negative aspirations or anything towards Kendrick.
Right.
But it's still a business, right? So
that it is.
Would he do that?
I mean, it would be interesting to see. In today's day and age, I would like to see Kendrick bring out Drake.
I was going to say, bringing out Drake would be a hell of a move.
Because it's not like they don't have songs together.
So is he going to bring them out and still perform They Not Like Us?
Yeah, why not?
Because
actually have Drake perform it with him.
Because he's not doing the Super Bowl show to not perform that. I would be shocked if that's not part of the montage, because they generally do a montage of songs. I would be shocked if that's not part of the montage.
I mean, it's gotta be.
Kendrick,
I mean, at this point, that's his hottest song, at least for the moment.
right? But
So,
he just dropped a song.
I did see that on.
So I haven't
Yeah.
gotten a chance to
Listen to
I
it.
locked it in, but I
Yeah.
haven't gotten a chance. But he's that kind of a dude, though. He's a creative artist. He might throw that curveball and not put that in his set. He might not.
He might.
You know, he might go swimming pools.
Because this is also,
and, you know,
this is also, nationally televised. So
I mean, there is a clean version per se.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, he might grab a couple, swimming pools and all the classics, from the beginning of his catalog on.
Right.
He might just montage a bunch of the singles up and call it a day.
Yeah.
But
which would be nice.
I still feel like he's going to throw that in there, especially because, like I said, it's already 5 times platinum.
Right.
It's already, it's going to get nominated for a Grammy. He's probably going to perform it at the Grammys.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, but it will be an interesting halftime show for sure. Definitely looking forward to it. I'm glad that now, not every year, but I'm glad that now there's certain halftime shows that I've actually been like, oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna watch this. Because there's some that I'm like you said, like I'll find something flip away, or that's when I go, let's go, get the next round of food or drinks or whatever else.
Right.
And ignore this for a minute.
Right.
So
yeah, my thing. I mean, I feel like it's known that I'm not really a sports guy. So me watching the Super Bowl,
I got that last time when you yelled home run when
during the Laker game.
You're like, let's watch the Super Bowl, guys, and then you throw on the Laker game and you're screaming home run. I'm like,
yeah, but I mean, it's mainly for the commercials and the halftime show for me. Like, I want to see who the fuck is paying all of this money to air a 30-second ad.
The sort of the low point now is that the commercials, they're not what they used to be. It used to be you like you said, you'd watch. I'm a fan, so I'd watch the game.
Yeah,
but you'd also be watching some of them. The
commercials.
Remember back in the day, the Wasssssssuuup and the Budweiser frogs and all that stuff.
Yeah,
like there was always those memorable commercials. Now I feel like there's some that you get like, okay, whatever, but they tend to release them 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. Anyways, they're all over the internet.
Yeah,
so there's no surprise factor.
They don't hit like they used to.
And then at the same time, there's nothing that really sticks that you're like, oh, that commercial.
Yeah.
Like, people still talk about the Wasssssssuup. They still talk about the Budweisers.
The big ones were the Budweisers.
Yeah.
Doritos always had bomb commercials.
Doritos did.
There was a couple times like a car manufacturer would have a dope commercial.
Yeah.
But I feel like Doritos and Budweiser were always like the top two.
The Wasssssssuup and the Budweiser frogs. Yeah. I mean, those are some of the two most iconic. I mean, there's other ones, like you said, but when you ask somebody for iconic commercials off the top of their head.
Terry Tate, office linebacker.
Right? So, yeah, it's just, there's only a few.
Yeah, that Wasssssssuup one. The frogs, the Budweiser frogs.
Yeah, that's what I said, the Budweiser frogs.
Spuds McKenzie.
But see, Spud McKenzie was year round, so
that's true
Super Bowl, it was no surprise. The Budweiser frogs, when they first released, that was the Super Bowl, and then they became a normal thing.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Wasssssssuup commercials. It was, and then they parodied in Wayans, but it's a scary movie. They parodied that. Yeah. So that was one of those things.
Chilling, killing.
Right, chilling, and they had the mask with the tongue hanging out. Yeah. So I love I loved it because they changed the mask expression like 4 different times.
Right.
He was all high, and so another version of another reference of a classic Wayne's brother parody. But yeah, I mean, again, taking pop culture, smart writing. It was hilarious, but
it's great writing. I love that. Tapping back into Marlon, like, bro is to go out there and be like, all right, they won't put me in any movies, they won't write any parts for me, so I'm just gonna start writing my own shit. Right. So for him to have that mindset and be like, you know what, I'm not gonna let them tell me that I can't be who I want to be, so I'm just gonna make my own movies, write my own parts for it. So like even with him writing Scary Movie, he wasn't like he was a main supporting character.
Right.
He wasn't one of the mains.
Right.
There was Anna Faris.
Right.
And then, he had Shorty. Yeah, he had Shorty. And he would do his little cameos and stuff.
Right.
So it's like, even though he wrote the movie, he still wasn't putting himself front and center.
Right.
Which I think is genius.
Just created a story. And it was cool because they were all, in essence, they were all their own main characters, right? You had him and you had Sean doing his thing, Anna Faris. So they all, and they all had their own scary movie interactions,
right,
with whatever monster they were parodying in that scene, So yeah, it was.
The second one was crazy. Grab my small hand.
Right.
Grab my strong arm.
Right. Yeah, it's the potatoes.
The potatoes.
Stirring up the potatoes.
My germs.
Yeah, he slaps it there.
Then he was doing the turkey.
Every year at Thanksgiving, I think about buying a small hand just so you can just to crack that joke. But
that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, no, it's just classic. It's classic.
Yeah, I love me some Marlon, man. It's good to see bro doing his thing right now. I love that he's going on tour. I love that he's getting so much attention, especially. Not to recycle what we already talked about, but just like especially after Vlad throwing that shade like that.
Yeah.
Like for him to go on Shannon and then to be
blow it up
multiple millions, not just 1 million. He didn't just get 1 million views. Like he's a couple million in right now. At least last time I checked, it was over 2 mil. I don't know what it's at right now, but
yeah, I mean,
it's dope. I still haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna try to get in and watch it this weekend.
Yeah. My next I have to watch. Like I said, is that I want to watch that. The Marlon one with him on Shaq.
On Shaq, yeah, that'll be dope too.
So
I want to see that.
Shaq's got a dope podcast. So it's season 2. He's just we'll get there.
Let's get through this first season.
I mean, we doing episode 10, so
this is episode 10. Oh shit,
we there.
We hit it. We hit a milestone.
I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna hang my head up.
That's it.
No.
Top of our game, right?
No, I mean
nobody knows who we are yet.
No. What was your name?
I'm Coop.
Oh,
nice to meet you.
Tango.
Oh, okay. Great. Dope.
Can you reach that?
Barely. I got short arms today. Got my chicken wing going on.
So, I don't know if you noticed today, but I decided to opt out from the normal putting up our logo
background
on the screen, and I decided to this is my normal wallpaper anyways, the floating Miles Morales with the Jordans on.
Yeah.
So I left my desktop on rather than throw the picture up there. And that's because I was excited. I read something with it. There is a plan for a live action Miles Morales film.
I wonder who they're gonna pick.
That part is undecided, but I guess the producer of the current Spider-Man series, I guess she said that there is a plan in the works, but there's 2 more Spider-Man films ahead of it.
Before that comes out? Okay.
So
I do remember for a little bit there was buzz about I don't want to call him Childish Gambino. What's his real name? Wow, I really can't remember his real name.
Donald Glover?
Donald Glover. I did hear there was some talks about Donald Glover being Spider-Man.
I feel like it would have worked fantastically except for now. I just feel like he's aged out of it.
Yeah. Might be too old for it now. He's too old for it now.
But for sure he had that look for sure.
Back in the day, yeah, he could have totally been a Miles
like when
Morales.
he was doing Community and all that.
Yeah.
So in ATL and all that. Yeah, I could have seen that exact. Not sure who they'll get to play it.
Who can you see?
Marlon Wayans? No.
He'll be Spider-Man's dad.
Right. Hey, there is that whole thing where in the storyline where his uncle.
Yeah.
So, but no, I was excited. I think Amy Pascal, I think, is the producer of the Spider-Man franchise. And I guess she mentioned that there's 2 more Spider-Man Spider-Verse movies
to
but
come
then they're
out.
going to do a live action Miles Morales. And so just because I read that and I was excited for it, I loved, aside from the 2 animated films, which were, I like the first one better than the second one. The second one is amazing.
Yeah.
I just really loved the first one.
Yeah, same.
I love the style that they animate in. And I think we talked about that where that same animation group had gotten, initially, they scouted them out to do a Batman. They were going to do a Batman film animated the same way.
Right.
And it got canned for some reason. Don't know the politics behind that. But I felt like that would have been super dope.
That would have been cool.
But I love those 2 movies. But the Spider-Man games, the PS5 games that incorporate Miles Morales.
Yeah.
The first one was Miles Morales, and then there was the one that had Peter Parker and Miles Morales together.
Yeah.
Storylines were great on the games. I'm just a fan of that storyline. I'm glad that it's getting the traction that it's getting to the point where they're like, yeah, we need to do a live action now.
Right.
And I feel like in doing so, especially since she said 2 more Spider-Man films, and then they'll be, that'll be in the works. That suggests to me that Miles Morales will then enter
into one of those movies.
He'll enter the MCU.
Right.
You know, now you'll have both Spider-Mans. You'll have the Miles Morales and the Peter Parker. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping for.
That'll be dope.
I think it'll be dope. But yeah, because I read that. Actually, in fact, I started reading it yesterday. I finished reading the story today. Lots of anticipation behind that. So I was like, I'm gonna leave my wallpaper up there just because I'm happy.
Well, then I wonder who they're gonna pick for Peter Parker. If they're gonna bring Garfield back or.
Well, I mean, they still can continue with who they have, right? I mean,
true. I mean, I'm saying because we got 3 different. With the last one, we got 3. They brought all 3.
Yeah, because the multiverse is there, right? So
it's like, who do they pick?
I feel like the storyline right now, especially from what we've seen and everything else, that it would probably be side with Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're gonna do the current MCU, you're gonna go with Tom Holland. You're gonna have him in that. Not to say that they couldn't have him show up in a different one, but are they going to do an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man by himself or some sort of multiverse where he's more prominent in it?
Right.
And then bring Miles Morales to that part of it, that universe?
Yeah.
That could get kind of complicated.
Who knows? Anything's possible with the multiverse.
Hey. Multiverse. But yeah, I was excited about that. I think it's dope. Miles Morales movie. I'm ready. I think the world's ready.
I think so too. Finally, I feel like all of this has been buttering the world up for a live action Black Spider-Man because they was not receptive to it when they first started talking about it.
Which is stupid. You know, I never got the concept of you know, especially when they remake a film or they do something
like Little Mermaid.
That character shouldn't be black. It's a white character. Or that character shouldn't be this. It's like, hold on a minute.
It's a fictional character.
Hold on a minute. It's called acting, right? It's called acting, so they're acting as a character, and that's part of that's the job. Period, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you want to get real about that, then let's talk about all the, you know, the Troys and the old classic Roman films and things like that.
Right.
It was all white people.
Right.
So.
Or let's think about Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai.
Well. To that credit, that was supposed to be a white dude who got captured, right? So
I get that, but
no, I know. Which I don't know if we talked about this, but that movie is Avatar. Avatar is the same storyline,
yeah.
Which is also Dances with Wolves, which is also Pocahontas.
I mean, so many movies follow the same.
It's the protagonist that gets captured by its enemy, who then sympathizes with the enemy, trains with the enemy, and then fights his own people.
Right. And gets respected by the enemy.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
So all those movies are the same. That's why whenever people talk about Avatar being the greatest, I'm like, nope. It's got great CG. I'll give it that. Not the greatest movie.
Yeah.
But going back to Spider-Man, that's going to be fire. I wish the other 2 Spider-Man movies would hurry up and get out the way so we can
get to this one.
We can bump it. You know, I feel like maybe one more Spider-Man and then do this one, then do the second Spider-Man. But hey,
well, it's not up to us.
But yeah, like that whole Spider-Man shouldn't be black. That's so stupid. Like
it is what it is.
It's stupid.
It's
acting.
Let the man act.
I'm with it.
It'll be dope. I'm looking forward to see it. I can't wait till it comes out. I hope I don't have to wait too long for it to come out. I probably will, but
yeah,
it is what it is. But I mean, I'm also, not to say that I'm off of Marvel, but it's
getting burnt out a little bit.
The MCU has been running for a minute, and then with after Endgame, they finally wrapped everything up.
It's like it climaxed, and now it's trying to go for round 2.
Right, with the multiverse,
and it's kind of like, and we've talked about this before. I feel like even like sci-fi shows. Right. And things like that. There's always a key point where you know that we're going downhill now, and that's when they open up multiverses or time travel.
Yeah,
I feel like because at that point you're just not excluded from anything. You can do whatever you want.
Anything is possible.
And the storyline just becomes the storyline.
Yeah,
it's the same thing with like sitcoms, right? Once the main character gets married, you're at its peak, and then when it has a kid, that's the last of the show.
Yeah, it changes up.
So yeah,
Or like a Saved by the Bell type where, everybody graduates and then they have the next generation. It's just never the same.
Yeah. So
never the same.
But no, I mean, MCU definitely has its ups and its downs. I think right now it's kind of having a little downtrend. I think that will give it a boost. I'm sure there's a few other movies that'll come out at some point that'll kind of give it a boost, but there's others that I'm just kind of Like the new Captain America looks dope. I can't lie. Like that one actually looked dope. With we talked about that with the Red Hulk and all that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I feel like they're gonna have a little bit of revival, and I think it was a good start with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
To help kind of awaken the Marvel enthusiasts.
Hopefully it'll become a fire series again. I'm down.
That'll be dope. All the cameos that they had, hilarious.
And apparently now they're talking about backtracking on replacing Blade and having him coming back as a Blade in their Blade revival.
That'll be dope.
So might get a Wesley Snipes Blade movie.
I mean, he's the. I guess he doesn't get enough credit because who really thinks of him as a superhero?
I think most people just saw that as an action film. They didn't realize that it was a superhero. They thought it was an action film. It was Blade.
Because he's just a vampire. Like I think a lot of people categorize it as a vampire movie.
I think I told you Blade was the first DVD I ever bought. I bought them at the same time, but I bought Blade and the first Matrix were the first DVDs I ever bought.
Ones? That's dope.
Same day, when I got my DVD player, I was like, well, I need some movies. And I was looking at the movies they had. Yeah. There was a big selection, but I was like, oh, I got to get Blade, and I'll get Matrix. And that was my first two purchases.
Blade was dope. Blade saved Marvel. But like we don't really when you think about the MCU, when you think about the heroes, the first one that comes up is either Hulk or Iron Man, depending on how you.
And you know what's crazy is and I'm not saying this from the standpoint of a comic book, expert, because I'm not. I was never really into comic books like that. Yeah. I like movies. I'm a film guy. But I feel like the general public wasn't aware of Iron Man the way they are now. He's so like, the second you say Marvel, Iron Man?
Right.
But I think before that movie, he wasn't what they were saying. I feel like most people would have probably said Hulk, potentially have said Captain America.
Yeah.
But I think Hulk was, and Spider-Man obviously was big.
Yeah.
But I don't think Iron Man was one of those ones where that was the first off the lip, and I think now it is.
He wasn't. But I mean, I think that also speaks a lot to Robert Downey Jr.'s
100%
role in playing that. Like he killed it as Tony Stark. Like he really embodied, like honestly, he's one and the same. When I see Robert Downey Jr., I think like, oh, that is Tony Stark.
Right.
You know?
I mean, he has that playboy billionaire philanthropist kind of vibe, and he's got that cocky smartass attitude, right? That confident attitude. It worked.
It worked.
To be honest with you, and I'm not saying this would have worked, but to be honest with you, that's the Marvel Batman, right? I mean, so now could he have done Batman? I don't know, because I think Batman's less. He even though he is the rich ego, but he's more of that sophisticated ego,
right?
And I think Tony Stark is more of the playboy ego.
Yeah, Batman is more of I would consider Batman more of a philanthropist,
right?
True. Him being the orphan and everything like that.
True.
Whereas Tony Stark, Iron Man, he was just, like you said, billionaire playboy.
He was the heir, right? Because his dad was the main. His dad was the
right.
He was just the heir of.
Yeah.
So
Batman out here, and him going through everything that he went through is what got him into that change of mindset to wanting to help other people in the first place.
Right.
Whereas Batman had that early on.
Batman was part help, but part vengeance.
Right.
His thing was
because he was trying to find
So more vigilante.
Right.
Whereas Iron Man's not. I mean, in a sense, he's a vigilante, right? But he's not really a vigilante. He is a hero.
Right.
So, but yeah. I mean, we'll see what Miles Morales can do for the MCU. Hopefully,
might give it new life.
Give it a little new little edge. Definitely opens up some options.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to the casting too. See who they're gonna pick for that. His uncle, his aunt, all that stuff. See how that's gonna transpire.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
I think it's dope. So I mean, I decided to do that. No logo this week. I figured we got the flicks. We got the flicks on the wall. We got this one.
Yeah,
we can go a show without it.
Something special for episode 10.
So on another note, man, I know we're getting ready to wrap up here, but the city's on fire, man.
I've been under a rock because I didn't even know there was so much going on right now. Like we had a heat wave, and I didn't even feel the earthquake.
Right.
Everybody. Oh, did you feel what earthquake?
There's a couple of them out of Malibu,
and I'm just oblivious to everything.
Well, like the
right
fire
now.
from my house. I look over and I see the hills in the back, and it's just plumes of smoke all the way across. And then at night, you can see the orange glow.
You can see the glow,
illuminating through the smoke. So it's kind of a trip. It's not close enough to where I'm in any danger, but I feel like I don't want to be breathing too much of that outside air right now.
Right. I mean, the fact that you can see it though.
But because and it's not just there's multiple. That's what's crazy. There's one to the sort of the southeast of where I'm at, and then there's one that's more southwest. But then there's some beyond that too, because San Bernardino, Riverside. Yeah. So
all from the heat wave, or
it's a trip too, because no, there was the one was started. They confirmed it. I think they were arrested. Somebody started it, arsonist. Damn. So. Yeah, people being people, I guess.
I mean, usually, I feel like, I don't want to say they go hand in hand, but I feel like usually when the temperatures go up, somehow a fire breaks out.
I mean, dry brush, and all it takes is
one spark.
Anything. I mean, it could be somebody flinging a cigarette butt to there's a glass bottle on the ground.
Oh, if it catches a right reflection, yeah.
So there's lots of things, right? It could be any. It could literally be a car parked by and it's reflecting off the mirror. Yeah. You know what I mean? There could be lots of. I mean,
crazy
maybe
stuff.
That's a little far fetched, but I mean, it's not feasible.
Anything's possible.
Think. So, but yeah, and adding to that heat wave and that hot, now you got this fire. So, fortunately, right now it's cooling down. We've dropped down into the 80s.
Which after being so hot, kind of feels cold. Yeah. It's so weird.
Yeah. Go outside and throw a hoodie on.
Right. So I was back. So I'm at finishing out my last semester at Cal State Fullerton.
Word.
It's been so hot. I'm like, I don't need to bring a jacket or a hoodie or anything with me. Then you get into these classrooms. They got these things at like 65 degrees.
Blasting the AC.
Bruh, I'm sitting in there shivering. Like,
I run hot. That's one thing. I run hot. Like, I can be in that environment and then I'll still be hot.
Really?
So.
Yeah, not me. I'm very like, I don't want to say I like the heat, but I do like warmth. I like being comfortable. Like, I don't want to have to take anything off. I don't want to have to put anything on. Right. I just want to be able to be comfortable in whatever I'm in.
And on the opposite ends of the spectrum, one of my things is, now, don't get me wrong, where we're at, when it's 105, it's also humid. Yeah. So like 105 here versus like in the desert. Yeah, it's two different things.
Big difference.
In the desert, it's hot, but you drink some water, you're kind of good. It's the humidity is what really gets you leaking, sweating and everything. But I've always been a fan of the saying I'd prefer to be, warm with a fan or AC than cold with a heater. I don't like that feeling of like, circulating hot air from a heater while I'm cold. It just feels nasty to me. I'd rather be like warmer and have that cool air blowing on me. Right. It's just so much, like you said, because now I'm not a big fan of bundling up. Yeah. So, even in LA, right, what's the coldest it gets? I know at night.
On average?
I know at night in the wintertime, we've dipped to the 40s.
Yeah. We can get down into the 40s on average, sometimes into the 30s.
And I'm still short sleeves and I can go shorts and I'm fine, and I'm warm to the touch, you know what I'm saying? So
it might just be a white thing. Y'all love wearing shorts in the winter. Shorts and flip-flops like all year round.
Hey, shorts and flip-flops, but never Crocs.
Flip-flops and socks and sweatpants.
I can't do Crocs. That's for sure.
No Crocs? I got some Crocs. I got the Dreamville Crocs.
I put the Crocs right on that list with the pandas.
Nah, I'm about to get some pandas and wear them next episode.
You're going to get the panda Crocs?
The panda Crocs? Let me find those. Now, I got the Dreamville Crocs, though. I seen J. Cole did a little collab with Crocs, so I was like, let me get them Dreamville Crocs.
I don't even know they make Crocs in 15, but I can't do it.
I want to say Outkast has a Croc collab.
That's dope, but cool.
I'm going to collect all the Crocs.
I'm an Outkast fan, but I ain't buying Outkast.
You ain't getting the Crocs?
No.
Oh, come on, man.
No. And on the flip side of that heat wave, man, I did cryotherapy.
Cryotherapy?
So
you think you are Austin Powers?
I was going for Futurama.
Oh yeah,
I was hoping to freeze me for 1,000 years, come back and be like,
they'll come back and do Idiocracy.
Right. I'll be the smartest man on the planet.
Right.
Welcome to Carl's Jr.
Why are you guys putting Brondo on everything?
Like I'll be the one to come out and be like, oh man, hey, y'all not watering the crops with Brondo, right? like I already got the answers to the test because I saw the movie.
Right. Like, nah, let me start a water company real quick and get rich.
Right. So, no, prior knee issues from hooping and whatnot, so I wanted to give it a go. And
that's what's up. So what's the benefits?
It's it's supposed to help with inflammation. It actually does lower your blood pressure. Lowers it initially raises your heart rate and then lowers your heart rate as you control your breathing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it has benefits for your skin, inflammation. It gets deep, because you're in there for about 3 minutes. So that cold, that cold penetrates deep into your skin and stuff. So yeah, I came out of there. I'd never done it.
Is it cold or like what is it? Is it a chamber? Is it like a room? Is it like a refrigerator?
It's a chamber. And it's nitrogen. It's
And how do you feel it like when you walk? Is it like it's cold outside? You walk outside and it's like burr, or is it just so cold that you don't even
they give you some special slippers and some gloves, right? Because your small appendages are
your phalanges,
right? They're more susceptible.
Yeah, frostbite and all that stuff
to just getting wrecked, right? Yeah. So you got these socks and slippers, and you've got thick gloves on and all that. And you go in there in your drawers, and they close you up in this cylindrical chamber. Your head's out because obviously you wouldn't be able to breathe because you have to be above the.
Okay.
And so so it literally looks like some sci-fi stuff because when they open it, you got all the
yeah.
But yeah, you're sitting there and you can see the layer floating above your neck as you're doing it, and it's blowing in on one side and it's circulating in this chamber.
Right.
And no, dude, it's cold. I mean, there's ranges of the temperatures. It goes, negative 170 to all the way up to negative 250.
Oh shit.
So, and you're in there for about 3 minutes, and yeah, you come out. Bro, it's cold. Like it's cold.
Damn. You done an ice bath before?
I've done ice baths.
I'm too much of a punk, man. I don't like the cold.
I'm not a fan of the ice bath. I gotta say now. I've done it and I'm okay with it.
But this is it now?
It's one of those things where like it takes me a minute to get in. Have you seen Kevin Hart's
him doing it, yeah.
Cold as ice,
That'd be totally
balls?
Me. I'm like half in.
Hey, I'm the same way. I'm sitting there like, let me barely get the calves in, and then you try to, because you know what it is? Once you get the legs in, you're fine. You don't want to go above your waist.
Yeah.
Because that's sensitive, right? Now you in your sensitive section.
Yeah.
And then once you get in there, then your torso is even more,
right?
Because your organs and stuff. So
it's the warmest part right there.
Once you get in there, you feel that shock, that cold. So, but I can get through the cold plunges, but I like this a little bit better than that because one, it's 3 minutes. Not that the cold plunge is supposed to be any longer for the most part, but I don't know, man. I felt refreshed. I got out of there. I felt real refreshed. Your skin stays cold for a little bit after you get out, but no, I felt real refreshed. My knee felt good. Stiffness and stuff kind of.
I might have to try that out.
Went away, so
I might have to try that out.
Hey, maybe we have to go on location and do some B-roll footage.
That'll be dope.
No, it's one person per thing. Don't get.
I didn't mean in the same chamber, brother.
No, but I know we're tall. I feel like anybody who's our height and above, maybe a little bit smaller as well. But once you get to that classification of tall, lower back is always a thing, right? So, and that's another thing too, is it does help all that stuff. So, maybe.
Yeah, I might need to get that checked out. Yeah.
But no, it was a great experience. I'm definitely looking forward to going back and getting that done a bunch more times.
That's what's up. Well, thanks for being a guinea pig.
So yeah. Passing the word. Passing the word.
Yeah.
But I didn't reach their maximum temperature, or is it maximum coldness?
Such a bitch, man.
They told me since it was my first time, they don't do that. You have to start
it's levels. You got to work your way down to the max.
They don't want to just throw you in there and be like, here you go.
Come out shatter, like you just fucking tap you and you just shatter.
The other thing is every time you go in, you lose about 800 calories.
Really?
Yeah, just from that, you lose about 800 calories.
Damn.
So
that's wild.
But yeah, I didn't reach the coldest temperature. So the first thing, I think she said it was minus 185.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna work my way up to that minus 2 something.
That's what's up. How often do they recommend you do it? Like, can you overdo it?
It can. No, you're not supposed to do it more than once in a day.
Okay.
But they do say some professional athletes will do it, and then they'll go do a hardcore workout and then come back and do it again, and that's kind of okay.
Oh wow.
But generally, you can do it once a day. But it's up to you. It's just kind of on your own prerogative.
Crazy.
But my goal is to reach the coldest. I want to feel. Now at this point, my curiosity is, since I did my curiosity is like how cold. It was cold, bro. So I want to know how cold does it go.
You want to know how low can they go?
So, but I'll reach it. Just like I believe we reached it.
Yeah, keep me posted.
And we'll do if you want to roll, man. We'll go and
let me know.
We'll film some snippets and we can post it up on social media and
yeah, man,
give our experience.
I'm down.
And with that,
have a good one.
Appreciate y'all viewing, watching, listening, and can you reset?
Can you reach that?
Can you reach that?
Can You Reach That? Brought to you by Double One Entertainment in Coopersville. Hosted by Tango and Coop. And created and edited by Tim Greenlee and Brandon Adolphus. Music, sound design, and editing by Michael B. That's me. Visual art and graphic design by Jonathan Greenlee. Additional visual design by Timothy Greenlee.